What is your addiction? What is that substance that you lean on maybe too much? And maybe by doing so, we can kind of examine some of your behavior. I really appreciate all of the comments here, and I appreciate everyone's honesty. Tate Jones says, I was an alcoholic. I quit over 7 years ago, but I'm still struggling to find myself again. I completely relate to everything you said on so many levels. Thank you, Tate. I really appreciate that. Matthew Robinson said, my addiction came in the pain of failing in the military. I totally appreciate that, Matthew. We got Dastic says, painkillers are my addiction. I fight daily to get out of that sunken place mentally, but some habits are hard to kick. Thank you for sharing your experience, Brian. Look, brother, I was there, man. Heroin's a nasty drug. I used to snort that garbage once every day or so, and since I was snorting it, I wasn't an addict, right? Because only heroin addicts shoot things. I didn't stick any needles in my arms, but I was kidding myself because this opiate was taking control of my life, and I couldn't live without it. It's sneaky. If you listen to Keith Richards in his autobiography, The Rolling Stones guy, he said it gets in there and it sneaks up on you, and it's hard to kick. But if you really look at those behaviors and examine those behaviors, there's a way out. But it's about finding your purpose and finding connection and finding a reason to live that's not about you and satisfying your own urges. It's about making it about other people, and that's how I got out of that. 12-step programs can help. Talking about it can help. Reaching out can help. And finding new practices can help. And a lot of people, it's a daily struggle, and I've been there, and it's hard. But we need to talk about it. And with pills, it's even worse because you swallow something and you're done. And it can be really dangerous to walk through life as a zombie, and you can also die. And the truth is you don't need a substance in your life to get you through this whole existence. You know, it shouldn't be necessary. We should be able to have a real consciousness without it. So I appreciate that. Primitive Ways says, I've been self-destructive because of no respect and a problem responsibility. The problem is when you're self-destructive and you're addicted to things like drugs and retail and sex, and you do things you can't control, it lowers your self-esteem. And with that lower self-esteem, then you're easy to go to those substances again, and it's a devastating cycle. And you know, when I got to London in 2002, I had just come from multiple heroin overdoses. That whole cycle of drug use had gotten me sacked by my best friend in college from my job. My girlfriend of 4 years had left me. I was left with nothing. I mean, I was literally a shell of a man. I was barely there physically. A stiff breeze could have blown me over, and I had to rebuild my life in London. And I did it through martial arts, through work, through reading, through exercise, through just trying to rebuild my life. And I did it, but it was hard and it was a struggle every day. But there's help out there. You just need to reach out for it and be honest with yourself about what you're doing. Stop lying to yourself. I did that for so long. I've got it under control. I can handle this. Trust me, you'll never win the battle of substance. You'll never win. It'll always win. And sometimes it wins by putting you in the ground, dead. And I woke up in a hospital one time in New York City with a needle in my arm because they had given me Naxalone, one of these like anti-opiate drugs. And literally, my parents might have got a phone call saying, your son is dead. And they would have said, what are you talking about? He's a successful .com startup CFO in New York City. He's an MIT graduate. We raised him in a beautiful way. And they did. And there I was, almost dead. So again, these drugs, they don't discriminate. It doesn't matter if you're poor, if you're black, you're white, if you're gay, if you're straight. It doesn't matter. They're going to come and they're going to snatch your soul if you don't get in there and defend. And you have to be aware at all times because these things come and they sneak up on you. And again, you are the easiest one in the room to fool, fooling yourself and telling you everything's okay when it's not. So the first step is being really honest about it. And the second step is trying to really look at your behavior and really start to dissect it and find out how we can attack weakness. It's something that Jocko Willink, the Navy SEAL, talks about. When he sees weakness in his life, he doesn't ignore it. He doesn't cover it up. He attacks it. How come I'm scared to do that? Why am I scared to pull the trigger? Why am I afraid to have a family? Why am I afraid to go 2 days without a drink? Why? Let's go investigate that fear and really shine some light on it and really push ourselves into it. That's the way that you can grow as a human being and get over a lot of these addictions. And that's what London Real has given me the last 8 years. It's given me a chance to examine all my fears. Fear of being on camera, fear of public speaking, fear of investing in people, fear of opening up and talking about my problems. It's really allowed me to do that. So find a way where you can do those things to yourself, go into those fears, and find those little moments to be proud of every single day. You meditated 10 minutes today? Be proud of that. You didn't have a drink today? Be proud of that. You went to the gym and broke a sweat? Be proud of that. You did your affirmations every morning, be proud of that. You did gratitude, be proud of that. You made someone else's life better, be proud of that. Those are all wins. You string enough of those wins together, and these substances won't have control over you. At London Real, we believe that individual transformation can change the world. Join us and start your journey today.